Assalamu alaikum and Merry Christmas. I'm Barrister Gul Nawaz Khan, Principal of Edison Khan Solicitors, a member Board of Governors, WCOP. I formally welcome you on behalf of World Congress of Overseas Pakistanis. Today we gather here to share love that transcends distance and boundaries. I welcome our Christian brothers and sisters from the Abrahamic faith, our fraternity from Pakistan, our mainstream community from the UK. World Congress of Overseas Pakistanis promote togetherness, cooperation, community, achievements through working together, embracing and celebrating differences. That's why today is a much important day when we are celebrating Jesus Christ's birthday. Revered as Hazrat Isa by Muslims, who is equally respectable by 1.5 billion Muslims as a prophet of God. And he's a religious figure. He's a leading spiritual figure for the Christians, approximately 2 billion Christians all around the world. So this day is very, very important. I was talking one of our mate here, the white ladies. So they were asking, why are you gathered here? Basically, we are all gathered here. This is called integration. Integration doesn't mean that we all together with our faith or with our community. Integration means with other country that we work together, we enjoy the events together, we celebrate the days like the today days.
In the name of Almighty, who is God of Holy Prophet Muhammad, may peace be upon him, and the God of Jesus Christ, may peace be upon him. When I was having a tete-a-tete with Dr. Choktai, he wanted me to come and speak on this occasion. And when I asked him on what subject I'm going to speak, so he told me integration. I'll be making a very serious speech today because it's a serious topic, and in these serious times, it requires serious reconsideration again and again. So with that, I start with Reverend Bishop of Edmonton, the President of WCOP, the Board of Governors, ladies and gentlemen. A very good evening to all of you. I must congratulate WCOP, which have arranged this third Christmas dinner, and mine is second. I made the speech last time as well in the church, as a part of interfaith endeavor to promote togetherness and harmony. The organization, though young in age, has now grown as a global organization to integrate the overseas Pakistanis by promoting coexistence in the lands of adoption. I congratulate my Christian brothers on the birth of Jesus Christ, and Pakistani diaspora on the birth of another Messiah, Qaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah. I consider it a great coincidence. And today, as I told earlier, that I'm going to make a serious speech, not speech for the speech's sake. Now, I can divide my speech in what, how, and why. What is the anxiety? What is the problem? What problems are being faced by the Muslims in integration? And why the, the the people of adopted lands feel it difficult? And how we have adopted our Pakistani diaspora here in Britain? And what is the basis that will come from the Holy Quran and from the polity of Islam? Muslims are a highly visible community in Europe with rapid pace of demographic change that has exacerbated public anxieties. And the topic which I'm discussing today is one of the most contentious issues in the immigration debate in Europe. European countries are grappling with ways to accommodate Muslim minorities while upholding their national values. Getting the balance right has not been easy. Some policies have drawn public support in some quarters, but been criticized elsewhere as an attack on Islam. The examples are ban on the burqa and other face-covering headgears, and the Switzerland referendum banning the construction of new mosque minarets. Other policies have sought to smooth tension between native-born and Muslim communities, such as the introduction of Muslim consuls to help resolve conflict over cultural practices. Fears about Muslim minorities as a security threat, their perceived unwillingness to integrate, perceived, please note that word, and their socioeconomic exclusion have become interwoven in public discourse. This phenomenon has propelled European governments to develop a diverse and sometimes highly controversial set of policies towards Muslims as a religious minority group. While estimates of Muslim population are notoriously unreliable, research suggests that they are one of the fastest growing groups in Western Europe. Pew estimates that by 2030, Muslims will be around 9% of the projected population of Europe. Much of the anxiety has been intentionally stoked by the inflammatory rhetoric of few high-profile figures. For example, the Dutch far-right politician, Pim Fortuyn, who headed up his own anti-Islam party before being assassinated, and Geert Wilders, the leader of the Netherlands far-right Party of the Freedom, and now Donald Trump, a presidential dreamer of US. These negative perceptions and anxieties are sometimes exacerbated by the perceived marginalization and social exclusion of some groups of the Muslims, unemployment rates, especially among women, and low education level as the cause of concern. Now I'll be touching the most touchy topic, I would say, the Islamic extremism, so-called, I would say. In West, the flurry of successful and foiled terrorist attacks, including the Madrid train bombings, the London Underground bombings, and the attack on Glasgow airport, and then Charlie Hebdo, the recent Paris attacks, they have turned their intentions inward and scrutinized relations with their Muslim populations. These attacks were widely denounced by the Muslim groups, but levels of anxiety about terrorism remain high. For many Europeans, these concerns unite to form an impression that Muslims have failed to integrate. This conclusion, I would say, is simplistic, not least because Muslims are extremely diverse and the problem described above only apply to a small percentage. Almost all Muslims condemn terrorism and strongly disassociate from radical or extremist groups and ideology. But these anxieties put pressure on policymakers to take action. Now I will turn to the common factors between Islam and Christianity. In Holy Quran, the first and the foremost and most prominent example, in the Holy Quran, the chapter of Mary and the chapter of the progeny of Imran are the binding forces which bind the two revealed religions in unbreakable bonds. Coming towards the how factor, that how we have integrated. So, ladies and gentlemen, our diaspora, we celebrate Christmas in Pakistan with festivities and fervor. And we are celebrating Christmas here in London with our Christian brothers in faith. The United Kingdom is the second home to the Pakistanis. It is home outside home. We enjoy traditionally warm and cordial relations, which are based on shared history and culture. The British people and its government have always stood by us in our most difficult times, both in the war against extremism, terrorism, and during the natural calamities that struck Pakistan in the recent past. The UK and Pakistan also enjoy uniquely rich people-to-people links. Over 1 million British citizens have close family ties to Pakistan, which constitute an important link in closer relations with the UK. Our 1.2 million strong diaspora contributes significantly to the British economy. It has also a considerable political influence. I am proud here to say that 7% of the doctors in UK are Pakistanis, in addition to a sizable presence in range of other professions. Besides, UK remains one of the most preferred destinations for our students. Now the raison d'etre in French, as they say, the Islamic polity. The objective of Islam is to bring about divine revolution, to invite people to worship Allah, to strive for a society in which spiritual, ethical, and human values are cherished. It advocates an atmosphere of peace, tolerance, and love, an atmosphere where controversies are resolved without the use of violence. The truth is that Islam is based on monotheism, as Christianity as well, with regard to God, and on the peaceful dialogue with regard to methodology. This is the essence of Islamic teachings. No other way is possible in Islam. In the contemporary world, the principle of peaceful coexistence can play an important role in avoiding the conflict in the world, which has become more lethal with the advancement of technology. Ladies and gentlemen, peaceful coexistence is a conceivable condition, eliminating the possibility of discord, violent or non-violent, among practitioners of various religious beliefs. Despite all pretensions to the contrary, the civilization development might still be some distance from the level of understanding. Consequently, interfaith harmony, stricto sensu, continues to elude us as an achievable ideal in the real world of 6 billion people under the available parameters of human thinking. Utopian ideals have indeed led to improvement in the past. Live and let live. The two commandments, love of good and love of neighbor, are at form the most solid theological grounds possible. Islam has been the first religion to promote dialogue or peaceful negotiations. It is based on the principle of dawah, which is another name for peaceful negotiation. Violence is forbidden totally in Islam. There's only one exception to this ban, and that is it is engaged in self-defense. A verse from the Holy Quran: invite to the way of your Lord with wisdom and goodly exhortation, and argue with them in ways that are best and most gracious. The conversation should not appear to be between rivals, but should take a scientific discourse. The Holy Quran makes it quite explicit Good and evil are not alike. Repel evil with that which is best, then he between whom and you was enmity will become as if he were a warm friend. In this regard, another verse of the Holy Quran says, "Say, O people of the book," that is addressing both the Jewish communities and the Christian communities, the revealed religion, "come to common terms as between us and you that we worship none but God." In Islamic polity, the formula for social peace, social harmony, and interfaith dialogue is based on peaceful coexistence, as has been given in the following verse of the Holy Quran. "To you then be your way, and to me be mine." In other words, the principle of dialogue given by Islam is follow one and respect all, or the method of mutual respect. According to the teachings of Islam, while respecting others, we have to welcome differences wholeheartedly without any reservation. It is hatred which has to be eliminated and not difference of opinion. People may have their differences in belief, religion, culture, but while following their religion, they have to have mutual respect for others and discover a common bond between them, which shows them all to be human beings. In practical matters, Islam advocates flexibility to the ultimate possible extent. In conclusion, it becomes clear from the above discussion that the method of Islam is that of peaceful dialogue. I think my speech has been very high on your nerves, but I end with Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everybody. Thank you.